When the entire world was racing toward electric cars, Toyota quietly took a completely different turn, and what they've just revealed has shocked the entire auto industry. It's not a sports car, not an SUV, but something far more unexpected. A 9-seater hybrid rickshaw. Yes, you heard that right. A small, everyday ride that could change the entire future of public transport. The question everyone's asking is simple. Why would the world's biggest automaker build a hybrid rickshaw when everyone else is going electric? What's Toyota really planning behind this bold move? And could this tiny vehicle actually threaten the billion-dollar EV market? Let's uncover what Toyota is really up to, and why this could be the smartest move they've ever made. When everyone else was pouring billions into all-electric vehicles, Toyota quietly stepped aside and asked a different question. What if the world isn't actually ready for full electrification yet? While companies like Tesla and BYD were fighting to dominate the EV market, Toyota's engineers were studying a problem most people ignored: the real-world gap between ambition and reality. In many countries, charging stations are rare, power cuts are frequent, and battery costs still make electric vehicles a luxury few can afford. Toyota realized something simple but powerful. The world doesn't need futuristic cars that only work in perfect conditions. It needs practical technology that fits the streets where people actually live. That's where the idea of a hybrid rickshaw was born. Think about it. Millions of people in Asia, Africa, and Latin America rely on small rickshaws every single day. They move families, students, workers. They are public transport for the developing world. Yet, they're often noisy, polluting, and inefficient. Toyota saw an opportunity hiding in plain sight. By combining a small petrol engine with an electric motor, they could create a vehicle that runs cleaner, quieter, and far cheaper, without depending on fragile charging infrastructure. A ride that cuts fuel costs in half but never leaves drivers stranded when the battery runs out. It's not a flashy move, it's a strategic one. Instead of chasing hype, Toyota chose to solve today's problems before promising tomorrow's dreams. That's why this decision isn't just about building a rickshaw, it's about redefining what innovation really means. But the question remains, how exactly does this tiny hybrid machine work, and why is everyone calling it a game changer? Let's break down the technology that's shaking up the entire market. So, what exactly makes this Toyota hybrid rickshaw such a big deal? At first glance, it looks like a regular auto, but what's hiding underneath the frame is something you'd usually find in a Toyota sedan. This small 9-seater runs on Toyota's signature hybrid system, a technology that's been tested for years in models like the Prius and Corolla hybrid, but now it's been re-engineered for an entirely new purpose: affordable mass mobility. Here's how it works. When the rickshaw moves slowly through traffic or stops at signals, it runs purely on battery power, silent, smooth, and emission-free. The petrol engine stays off, saving fuel with every meter. But as soon as more power is needed, say, climbing uphill or carrying a full load, the petrol engine automatically kicks in, working together with the electric motor to give an instant boost. The driver doesn't have to press any extra buttons or switch modes. The system's smart computer senses what's needed and shifts seamlessly between electric and petrol. And when the driver hits the brakes, the magic happens again. The kinetic energy that's normally wasted as heat is captured and sent back to charge the battery. This process, known as regenerative braking, means the rickshaw charges itself while driving. No cables, no waiting in line for a plug. Now here's where Toyota's brilliance really shows. Instead of building something that depends on an expensive charging grid, they created a self-sustaining loop, a vehicle that saves fuel and recharges on its own. The result? Up to 50% better mileage than a regular petrol rickshaw, less noise, and dramatically lower emissions. Drivers get the comfort of never worrying about running out of charge, and passengers get a smoother, quieter ride. It's a win on both sides. But this hybrid system isn't the only thing that's catching attention. The design itself has stunned people around the world. Because Toyota didn't just make it efficient, they made it beautiful. Let's look inside and see what makes this 9-seater rickshaw feel more like a luxury minivan than public transport. When most people hear the word rickshaw, they picture a cramped, shaky three-wheeler fighting its way through traffic, noisy, uncomfortable, and barely fitting 4 people at best. But Toyota just tore up that image completely. The moment photos of this new 9-seater hybrid rickshaw hit the internet, people were stunned. It didn't look like an auto, it looked like a concept vehicle straight out of the future. Sleek edges, wide frame, and a streamlined front that cuts through air resistance. Toyota didn't just build a rickshaw, they reinvented it. From the outside, its aerodynamic body makes it look light yet powerful. But it's the inside that really shocks everyone. Instead of passengers squeezing in shoulder to shoulder, every person gets an actual seat. There's real legroom, wide entry doors, proper headspace, and cushioned seats that don't make you feel like you're sitting on metal. Even the back row has handles, side openings, and ventilation. Small touches that make a big difference in daily rides. And the driver? For once, they're not left out. Toyota designed a proper driver's cabin, a full-size seat with lumbar support, a modern steering setup, and a digital dashboard that puts every control within reach. From fuel and battery levels to speed and hybrid modes, everything appears on a clean digital display that looks more like a car than a rickshaw. The interior lighting is soft LED, the cabin feels airy, and even the ventilation system is optimized for hot and humid climates, a game changer for countries where heat and dust are constant battles. But the genius of the design isn't just about looks or comfort, it's about function. Despite carrying 9 passengers, Toyota kept the size compact enough to weave through tight city streets and narrow roads. They used a balanced chassis design that keeps the vehicle stable even when it's fully loaded. That means no more tilting or wobbling when turning corners or driving on uneven roads, something that has always been a problem for traditional autos. This mix of space, comfort, and safety is what's making people say this rickshaw doesn't feel like public transport. It feels like a mini luxury van built for the common man. But Toyota didn't stop at comfort. They've packed this small machine with smart features that you'd never expect in a rickshaw. And those features are what really set it apart from anything else on the road. You'd think a rickshaw is just a simple ride, engine, seats, and wheels. But Toyota clearly didn't get that memo. They've turned this thing into a mini smart vehicle packed with tech you'd normally see in high-end cars. First off, there's the dual-drive control system. The vehicle automatically switches between its electric motor and small petrol engine depending on speed, load, and terrain. That means when you're cruising through city streets, it's almost fully electric. But when it hits a steep slope or a long stretch, the hybrid engine kicks in, smooth, silent, and powerful. Then there's something no one expected: regenerative braking. Every time the driver slows down or brakes, the energy isn't wasted. Instead, it gets converted back into power for the battery. That's a feature usually seen in premium EVs, not public transport. And here's the real surprise: the rickshaw can even run silently in full EV mode for short distances. Imagine being stuck in city traffic and realizing your vehicle isn't burning a drop of fuel. No noise, no fumes, just clean, quiet motion. For densely packed cities choking on pollution, that's a serious game changer. Inside, Toyota added smart sensors that detect overloading, ensuring the vehicle stays balanced even when packed with passengers. There's an anti-roll safety system, enhanced suspension, and automatic braking assistance that prevents sudden jerks, features unheard of in this class. And the tech doesn't stop there. Drivers get a touchscreen control hub, Bluetooth connectivity for cashless payments, and a built-in GPS system to track routes and optimize rides. Toyota even included smart charging alerts, so the driver knows exactly when to switch modes or plug in for a top-up. It's like they built the future of city mobility, then disguised it as a rickshaw. But the real question is, why go all out on a rickshaw in the first place? Well, Toyota's not just chasing innovation for the sake of it. They're making a bold move into one of the biggest, most chaotic transport markets on the planet, and what happens next might completely reshape urban transport forever. On the surface, Toyota's new 9-seater hybrid rickshaw looks like a simple innovation, a clever way to modernize local transport. But behind this launch lies a massive global strategy that most people completely missed. You see, Toyota isn't just building vehicles anymore. They're building systems, transport ecosystems that can reshape how millions of people move every single day. And this rickshaw? It's the first piece in that puzzle. Here's the truth: Toyota has been watching developing markets for years: India, Indonesia, Nigeria, the Philippines, places where millions rely on three-wheelers, minibuses, and tuk-tuks for daily travel. And here's what they realized: while car sales in rich countries are slowing down, urban transport in these regions is exploding. Millions of people are moving to cities, public infrastructure is overloaded, and everyone's looking for cleaner, cheaper, faster rides. So instead of waiting for these countries to buy expensive EVs, Toyota flipped the script: bring affordable hybrid tech directly into public transport. By doing that, they don't just sell vehicles, they create entire new categories of mobility. Think about it. If just 10% of the rickshaws in Asia switched to Toyota's hybrid system, the company would instantly control one of the biggest transport networks on the planet, without even competing head-on with Tesla, BYD, or local EV startups. This is Toyota quietly conquering markets from the bottom up. It's not about prestige or luxury anymore, it's about volume, dominance, and long-term influence. And the best part? Most of their rivals didn't even see it coming. While everyone was focused on flashy electric cars, Toyota was quietly positioning itself to own the streets of every developing city on Earth. But what makes this move even more brilliant is how Toyota plans to power these fleets sustainably, with a new kind of energy network that could redefine how developing nations think about fuel altogether. When Toyota first teased this 9-seater hybrid, most people thought it was just another attempt to go green. But what almost no one realized is that the rickshaw is only half the story. The other half is the network powering it. Behind the scenes, Toyota has been quietly working with energy startups and local governments to build what they call microcharge hubs. These are small solar-powered stations placed in high-traffic areas, markets, stations and transport stops, where drivers can charge their vehicles for free or at an ultra-low rate. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Unlike massive EV stations built for cars, these microhubs are modular. They can be set up in under a week, run on solar or hybrid grid energy, and maintain up to 50 vehicles a day. That means Toyota isn't just selling vehicles, they're building an energy ecosystem tailor-made for developing nations. Each hub is connected to a central app that tracks energy output, usage, and battery health. Drivers get rewards for maintaining good efficiency, and Toyota gets real-time data on how every rickshaw performs on the road. It's a feedback loop, and that data gives Toyota a massive advantage in improving the next generation of vehicles faster than anyone else. But the genius doesn't stop there. These same microhubs can later be upgraded to support full EV charging, once Toyota rolls out their next phase, a completely electric version of the 9-seater. In other words, the hybrid is just the stepping stone, a bridge between the fuel-powered present and the fully electric future. And here's the part that's blowing industry insiders away. Toyota plans to license this entire network to local businesses. Imagine small entrepreneurs across Asia and Africa owning and operating these charge hubs, earning income while fueling a cleaner transport revolution. It's not just innovation, it's economic empowerment on wheels. So while competitors chase luxury EV buyers, Toyota is quietly building a self-sustaining grid of affordable, connected vehicles and charging points. And that grid could become the backbone of how billions of people move in the next decade. But as always, no revolution comes without challenges, and Toyota's bold plan is already facing fierce pushback from rival automakers and even local taxi unions. What happened next could determine whether this ambitious project takes over the world, or disappears before it even begins. Every time a big idea threatens the status quo, someone tries to stop it. And Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw is no exception. The moment word spread about this project, the pushback was immediate, from competitors, unions, and even some government circles. Because while it looks like a clean energy innovation, it also threatens to disrupt entire industries overnight. Let's start with the local transport unions. For decades, rickshaw networks in cities like Delhi, Jakarta, and Manila have been run the same way, with old engines, cheap maintenance, and predictable costs. Toyota's hybrid changes all that. It's safer, cleaner, more efficient, and that's exactly the problem. Many drivers worry that upgrading to a Toyota hybrid will mean higher upfront costs, new regulations, and digital monitoring. Some fear losing control to corporate systems that could track every ride, every stop, every fare. They've seen how ride-sharing apps change the game, and they're scared this could be the next big wave that sidelines traditional drivers. Then there are the competitors. Small local manufacturers that dominated the cheap rickshaw market for years suddenly found themselves staring down a global giant. Toyota's move could wipe out dozens of local brands almost instantly, and they know it. Some have already started lobbying for protection laws, arguing that foreign companies shouldn't be allowed to dominate domestic transport. And let's not forget the oil companies. A large-scale hybrid shift in developing markets means less fuel sold daily. Every silent, battery-powered ride represents lost revenue, and that's not something the fossil fuel industry is happy to see spreading. But Toyota expected this. They've faced resistance before, with the Prius, with hydrogen tech, and even with their early EV experiments. And every single time, they played the long game. They know that once the public sees the benefits, cleaner air, lower costs, and better reliability, change becomes unstoppable. Still, this battle is far from over. Because behind the scenes, something even bigger is happening. Toyota isn't just changing transport. They're about to change how people own vehicles entirely. Toyota isn't stopping at building a hybrid rickshaw. What they've quietly planned next could rewrite the rules of vehicle ownership entirely. Instead of just selling vehicles, Toyota is experimenting with shared fleets and subscription-based models. Imagine this, a network of hybrid rickshaws available on demand, maintained by Toyota, fully insured and ready to drive, all without the driver needing to worry about upfront costs, repairs, or battery replacement. For small business owners and independent drivers, this could be revolutionary. You don't buy the rickshaw, you subscribe to it. Daily, weekly, or monthly. Toyota takes care of the hybrid tech, the maintenance, even the charging hubs. You just focus on driving and earning. This model solves a problem that has long plagued public transport: affordability and reliability. Drivers no longer have to choose between cheap, polluting vehicles and expensive, risky EVs. Toyota provides a bridge, a hybrid system that's accessible, reliable, and modern. But there's more. With connected vehicles, Toyota can track fleet efficiency, optimize routes, and even provide real-time analytics for urban planning. Cities could reduce congestion, improve air quality, and make public transport more predictable, all while drivers earn more and passengers ride in comfort. In other words, Toyota isn't just selling rickshaws. They're creating a complete ecosystem: vehicles, energy hubs, maintenance, financing, and digital tracking. A system that adapts to cities, empowers drivers, and scales globally. And the cleverest part? Most of the world hasn't even realized this yet. While everyone else is racing to launch flashy EVs, Toyota is quietly rewriting the rules: one hybrid rickshaw, one city, and one driver at a time. But the question remains: will this vision succeed, or will obstacles and resistance slow it down? Before we answer that, let's take a closer look at what people are actually saying about this hybrid rickshaw on the streets. As soon as Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw appeared on streets and online, reactions poured in, and they weren't what most people expected. Drivers, the backbone of city transport, were the first to test it. Their first impression? Shock and excitement. "Finally, a rickshaw that saves fuel and runs smooth," said one veteran driver. Another added, "No more worrying about the battery dying in the middle of the street. I can actually make more trips and earn more." Passengers were equally impressed. Instead of cramped seats and rattling frames, they found comfortable cushioning, ample legroom, and smooth, quiet rides. People remarked that it felt more like a minivan than a rickshaw. Some even joked it was like riding a luxury car in the heart of the city. Online buzz amplified the excitement. Social media clips of the hybrid rickshaw navigating crowded streets silently went viral. Commenters praised Toyota for solving real problems, not just chasing flashy electric car trends. Many noted the practical brilliance: affordable, efficient, and ready for the chaotic streets of developing cities. Analysts, too, began taking notice. They called it a strategic masterstroke, a vehicle that doesn't just innovate in technology but in market thinking. While Tesla and BYD are chasing premium EVs, Toyota's hybrid targets volume, reliability, and accessibility, putting them in a position to dominate emerging transport markets. But not everyone is thrilled. Some traditional rickshaw makers and local unions expressed concerns about costs and corporate oversight. Others worried about technology adoption and maintenance. Even so, the overwhelming public reaction leans positive, and early adoption suggests Toyota's hybrid rickshaw could become the new standard in urban mobility. The streets are buzzing, the drivers are talking, and the competitors are watching nervously. Toyota has done more than launch a vehicle. They've sparked a conversation, one that could redefine public transport for decades to come. And that brings us to the ultimate question: will this hybrid rickshaw really change the EV game, or is it just a clever experiment? One of the most impressive things about Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw isn't just its technology, it's the impact on drivers' wallets. Traditional petrol rickshaw drivers spend a significant portion of their daily earnings on fuel alone. In congested cities, this can eat up nearly half of their income. But with the hybrid system, drivers save money every time they switch to battery mode. On short trips or in heavy traffic, the rickshaw runs silently and efficiently on electricity. No petrol burned, no cost incurred. Over a month, those savings add up. Early tests suggest fuel expenses could drop by as much as 50%, meaning drivers effectively earn more without working extra hours. But the benefits don't stop at fuel. Maintenance costs are lower too. Because the engine shares power with the electric motor, it experiences less wear and tear. Fewer breakdowns, fewer repairs, and longer engine life, all of which translate into even more savings over time. Toyota also considered the upfront cost. At first, some drivers were hesitant, seeing a hybrid rickshaw priced slightly higher than a standard petrol model. But when the math is done, it's clear: the hybrid pays for itself within 1 to 2 years through fuel savings alone. Factor in reduced maintenance, and it becomes a long-term financial win. And Toyota isn't leaving anyone behind. With financing schemes and flexible payment options, even small operators and first-time buyers can afford the rickshaw without draining their savings. This means more drivers can upgrade their vehicles, increase daily trips, and enjoy a safer, more comfortable ride, all while boosting their income. In short, this isn't just innovation for the sake of technology. It's innovation that directly empowers the people who make public transport run. Drivers keep more of what they earn, passengers ride in comfort, and cities get cleaner, quieter streets. But the ripple effects go beyond drivers' pockets. Competitors and the EV market are now paying attention, because Toyota's hybrid isn't just saving money, it's changing the rules of the game. Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw isn't just turning heads on city streets, it's sending shockwaves through the global EV market. Companies like Tesla and BYD have spent years chasing the electric vehicle dream, focusing on premium EVs for rich cities and affluent buyers. But Toyota's hybrid changes the equation entirely. Suddenly, affordability, reliability, and mass adoption are front and center, and that's something even the biggest EV players struggle with. Tesla, for instance, has built its brand on luxury EVs and high-tech performance. But a hybrid rickshaw that costs a fraction of their vehicles, while delivering smooth, efficient, and smart technology, creates a new benchmark for accessible innovation. People are now asking, why buy a full EV when a hybrid can give you nearly the same benefits without the headaches of charging infrastructure? BYD, which has invested heavily in electric rickshaws and minibuses across Asia, is feeling the pressure even more. Their fully electric vehicles depend entirely on charging stations and battery replacements. Toyota's hybrid bypasses that issue completely, offering a practical alternative for countries where EV infrastructure is still weak or expensive. Even local rickshaw manufacturers are scrambling. They've dominated the market for decades with cheap, petrol-only models. Now, a global giant has arrived with superior technology, better mileage, and more comfort, all at a competitive price. That's a serious threat to their survival. What makes Toyota's move even more strategic is timing. While everyone else is investing millions into charging grids and premium EV fleets, Toyota enters the market where people actually need reliable, affordable solutions. They're not just competing for the top, they're securing the middle and bottom, a part of the market most EV companies ignored. The industry is watching closely. Analysts are predicting that this hybrid could force competitors to rethink strategy, not just for rickshaws, but for all types of urban transport. And the big question now is, can Tesla, BYD, or anyone else respond quickly enough before Toyota establishes dominance in this emerging market? Toyota isn't just innovating, they're disrupting an entire ecosystem, and the ripple effects could last for years. Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw isn't just a financial win for drivers, it's a game-changer for urban environments. Traditional petrol rickshaws have long been a major source of noise, air pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions in cities across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Smoggy streets, coughing pedestrians, and chronic congestion. Anyone who's lived in a dense city knows the scene all too well. Now imagine replacing a fleet of petrol rickshaws with Toyota hybrids. Most of the time, these vehicles run on battery power, producing zero emissions while moving through crowded streets. That alone drastically reduces air pollution, especially in dense urban areas where traffic jams are constant. The hybrid system also cuts fuel consumption by nearly half. Less petrol burned means lower CO2 emissions, fewer pollutants, and quieter rides, all of which contribute to healthier, cleaner neighborhoods. Passengers notice it immediately: less noise, smoother rides, and a more pleasant environment overall. And here's the clever part: Toyota's hybrid rickshaw acts as a bridge technology. While full EV infrastructure is still limited in many regions, the hybrid allows cities to move toward cleaner transport gradually. Drivers can save money, reduce emissions, and build trust in hybrid or electric systems, all without the fear of running out of charge in areas with poor EV infrastructure. This is more than just a vehicle upgrade, it's urban transformation on a small scale. One hybrid rickshaw at a time, streets get quieter, air gets cleaner, and cities move closer to sustainable transport solutions. In the long run, this hybrid could even influence city planning. Fewer emissions, quieter streets, and efficient vehicles mean more room for growth, better pedestrian experiences, and a step toward a smarter, eco-friendly urban future. But there's another layer. The technology inside the rickshaw also contributes to environmental efficiency in ways most people don't see yet. Toyota's hybrid rickshaw might look simple at first glance, but beneath the surface, it's packed with smart technology usually found only in premium vehicles. Let's start with the hybrid system itself. Toyota didn't reinvent the wheel. They adapted their famous hybrid tech from cars into a small, 9-seater rickshaw. The electric motor handles low-speed traffic, while the petrol engine kicks in for higher speeds or uphill climbs.
The transition? Completely seamless.
Drivers don't have to switch modes manually. The system decides in real time, optimizing both performance and fuel efficiency. Then there's regenerative braking, a feature that charges the battery whenever the rickshaw slows down. Every stoplight, every brake, is actually putting energy back into the battery. That's why fuel consumption is so low, and why drivers save so much money. Inside, Toyota added a digital dashboard with real-time data. Drivers can monitor battery level, petrol tank, speed, and energy usage at a glance. There are power mode selections, USB charging ports, and even passenger-friendly tech, like adjustable seating layouts and ventilation. Safety hasn't been ignored either. The rickshaw comes with anti-skid brakes, a secure locking system for rear passengers, and balanced suspension to reduce jolts on uneven roads. Even with 9 passengers on board, the vehicle remains stable and smooth, a huge leap from the cramped, noisy rickshaws most cities are used to. And here's a feature most people miss: Toyota designed the vehicle to self-optimize energy usage. Sensors track weight, speed, and road incline, adjusting the hybrid system dynamically. That means less wasted fuel, fewer emissions, and more consistent performance, all automatically. It's more than a rickshaw, it's a small, intelligent transport system designed to be efficient, safe, and comfortable. And while these features make daily commuting smoother, they also give Toyota a massive strategic edge in markets where reliability, efficiency, and affordability are everything. Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw isn't just a solution for one city or one country, it's a global mobility strategy in motion. The first markets are obvious: dense urban centers in India, Indonesia, the Philippines, and parts of Africa, where 3-wheeled vehicles dominate daily transport. Cities here face traffic congestion, air pollution, and a lack of reliable public transport. Toyota's hybrid rickshaw fits perfectly: affordable, efficient, and practical. But Toyota isn't stopping there. They're exploring ways to adapt the hybrid system to different climates, terrains, and passenger needs. Imagine a rickshaw navigating narrow streets in Dhaka, carrying tourists in Bangkok, or shuttling workers in Lagos, all while reducing fuel costs and emissions. The company is also planning fleet adoption. Ride-sharing companies and urban transport authorities could operate Toyota hybrids as part of city fleets. That would multiply impact: cleaner streets, smarter energy use, and better income for drivers. Even logistics and delivery networks are in play. A compact, hybrid vehicle that can carry cargo and passengers efficiently could become a backbone for last-mile delivery in cities where traffic and congestion make conventional vans inefficient. And there's a bigger plan lurking behind the scenes: integration with Toyota's microcharge hubs and subscription models. The hybrid rickshaw becomes more than a vehicle, it's part of a connected, scalable ecosystem. Drivers get accessible vehicles, cities get sustainable transport, and Toyota collects real-time data to optimize future models. In short, the hybrid rickshaw could become a global standard for affordable, efficient urban mobility, a step toward reshaping public transport across continents. When Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw hit the streets, the first reactions weren't from analysts or competitors. They came from the people who actually use it every day, the drivers and passengers. Drivers were the first to test it, and their feedback was immediate and enthusiastic. Many noted how the hybrid system halved their daily fuel costs, making a tangible difference in earnings. One driver said, "I can run more trips, save money, and still make my family budget stretch further. It's a total game changer." Others praised the smooth acceleration and quiet operation, pointing out that their rides now feel less stressful and more efficient than older petrol models.
Passengers, too, noticed the difference.
No more rattling seats, constant engine noise, or cramped legroom. Instead, they found ample space, comfortable seating, and smoother rides. Many compared it to a mini luxury van, joking that city commuting had finally caught up with modern comfort standards. Online, clips of the hybrid rickshaw navigating crowded streets quietly went viral. Social media users were impressed by its blend of technology, comfort, and affordability. Comments ranged from awe at its design to appreciation for Toyota's practical innovation in a market dominated by traditional vehicles. Even skeptics, those worried about price or new technology adoption, were gradually won over once they saw the long-term savings and daily reliability. Drivers and passengers alike began viewing it as a wise investment rather than an expensive novelty.
The takeaway?
Toyota didn't just make a hybrid rickshaw, they made a vehicle that people genuinely want to use. It's functional, economical, and surprisingly enjoyable. And the real kicker? Positive word of mouth and first-hand experiences are spreading faster than any marketing campaign, setting the stage for widespread adoption. Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw isn't just a new vehicle, it's a statement to the global EV industry. The question on everyone's mind: can a hybrid rickshaw really compete with fully electric vehicles in the long run? The answer lies in practicality. While Tesla, BYD, and other EV giants continue to push premium electric models, Toyota is targeting the markets where EV infrastructure is still weak. Cities with limited charging stations, long daily routes, or tight budgets now have a vehicle that is affordable, reliable, and eco-friendly. It's a hybrid solution that works where pure EVs can't, and that's exactly why it matters. Analysts predict that hybrids like this could slow EV adoption in emerging markets, not because EVs are inferior, but because hybrids meet immediate needs more effectively. They save money, reduce emissions, and offer convenience that early EVs cannot match. Long-term, Toyota's strategy could reshape the conversation. Instead of chasing only EV supremacy, competitors may need to consider hybrid solutions as part of their portfolio, blending electric technology with conventional fuel to reach broader audiences. And for the everyday driver? This isn't just theory. The hybrid rickshaw promises financial savings, comfort, and reliability, making it a vehicle people will choose for practical reasons, not just environmental ones. The future of urban mobility may not belong exclusively to EVs. Toyota's hybrid rickshaw proves that innovation isn't just about flashy technology, it's about solving real problems for real people. One thing is clear: as more cities adopt hybrids and people experience their benefits firsthand, the EV market will face a new benchmark for practicality and affordability, and Toyota is leading the charge. Toyota's 9-seater hybrid rickshaw is more than just a vehicle, it's a glimpse into the future of urban transport. From its smart hybrid technology and regenerative braking to spacious design and advanced features, it solves problems that EVs and traditional petrol rickshaws have struggled with for years. Drivers save money, passengers ride in comfort, and cities benefit from quieter, cleaner streets. Competitors like Tesla and BYD are watching closely, realizing that innovation isn't only about flashy EVs, it's about practical solutions that people can actually use. This hybrid isn't just a rickshaw, it's a bridge between today's transport challenges and tomorrow's sustainable mobility. Toyota isn't waiting for EV infrastructure to catch up, they're empowering cities, drivers, and passengers to transition at their own pace. The bigger picture? This move could reshape the EV market, influence vehicle ownership models, and redefine public transport in dense cities around the world. It's a bold, calculated strategy that proves Toyota isn't just building vehicles, they're setting new standards for what urban transport can and should be. So, what does this mean for the future? Cities may become cleaner, commuting more efficient, and hybrid solutions could become the norm before EVs dominate completely. And one thing is clear: the conversation about urban mobility has changed forever. If you want to stay ahead of these game-changing innovations and get the latest updates on hybrid and electric vehicles first, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. The future of mobility is unfolding now, and Toyota's hybrid rickshaw is just the beginning.